So last week I worked on an amazing project highlighting some of the benefits of using the Red Komodo X, and one of the major projects that we worked on was a dance film. Now this film, the actual video that we finished cutting, not associated with the big YouTube video we made last week, which, by the way, if you haven't seen that video, definitely check that one out. But this entire project was about creating something unique, something special. And that went down to the music as well, which, if you are a filmmaker, you have probably dealt with the issue of trying to find the perfect song. Now, when it comes to finding the perfect song, there's a lot of different things you can do to try to find it. One, you could go to some type of stock music website where there's a huge library of songs that have already been created. However, the problem is most filmmakers are actually drawing from that exact same library. So the chances of your music appearing in someone else's video is pretty high. The second option you have is you can create original music from scratch. Now, if you're like me and you're not talented in the process of making music, that means you're gonna have to hire somebody to do it for you. And if you go that route, it's going to tend to be pretty expensive, and you're gonna have to do a lot of back and forth in order to make sure that the music sounds just right for your video. However, because it's 2023 and we're living in an age of AI pretty much solving everything, there are AI audio solutions out there to help you to create music that's basically from scratch. So when you believe it, a couple weeks ago, I had one of those AI companies reach out to me via email saying that they had this amazing platform that allowed you to create music using AI. Now, full transparency, I was a little skeptical at first because AI created art is still in this weird gray area. However, when I heard that it will allow me to create music for my videos, it also was going to be royalty free, which means I could use it for commercial projects. And when I figured out that I could customize the music down to the length, I knew I had to give it a shot. So the platform that we're taking a look at today is called Sounddraw. Now, Sounddraw is, as I mentioned before, an AI music generator for creators. Now, the entire process here is that it uses AI to generate new music for your videos. And that's something to really keep in mind, because if you want to utilize the platform, in my opinion, the easiest and the best way, it's good to have a video that's basically done, so that way you can utilize the elements of your video to help the AI in order to create the right sound for your video. Now, in order to get started, it's pretty straightforward. You don't even have to sign in to start playing around with the music. All you have to do is click on this big yellow button that says create music. From there, you're going to choose a couple different parameters that have to go hand in hand with your video. So for example, you're going to want to choose the length of your video. In my case, I'm working on a sound that's roughly needs to be about a minute. You can also set your tempo here, and this kind of works as like a filter system. So whichever ones you have selected, that's the type of sounds you're going to get. So if you want to have slow, normal, or fast, and whichever ones you don't want, you pretty much just unselect it. So in my case, I'm going to unselect slow because I'm not really looking for a slow sound, but I do want to pick the right genre for my music. So in this case, we're going to start by selecting the genre for the main element of my video. Now, you can obviously filter in more genres once you start dialing in your sound, but I'm going to start by selecting hip hop. Now, what you'll notice is that when you first get your list of music, this is all AI generated music using those two parameters that I just gave it. The fact that the length is a minute and that I chose hip hop. However, I can go underneath genre and I can start layering in a few different genres as well to sort of change the way the sound is going to come through. So in my case, I want to not only have hip hop, but I also want to choose orchestra, and I want to go into the theme, and I want to change my theme to cinematic. So now that I have made my selection of orchestra, hip hop, and cinematic, I'm going to get a list of different sounds that are going to work within my video's parameters. Now, the easiest thing to do is just to go through and listen to see which ones kind of align with you. But personally, I'm really liking this one here. That's 007, and maybe that's why. But whenever I click it and I play it, I can actually hear that sound and it'll play it back for me, and I can kind of see how that's going to work with my video. Now, one thing that's really nice about this is that this is a completely unique sound, and the chances of someone else getting this exact same sound and being able to use it in their video is very low, which means now I have that unique element to my video. However, this is not where it ends with the AI generated music. I can go in and start customizing this music a little bit further. So you'll notice that underneath the waveforms here, there's a bar that says energy, and there's a lot of different variations here. Each of these can be changed, and it has to do with that section of the video. So you'll notice that from the first 0 to 9 seconds of the actual video here, I can change the energy level from low to medium to high, and then to very high. And this will drastically change the way my music actually sounds. So if I just click on the waveforms in that section, it'll preview the music back for me. Now, personally, I think I like the music to actually start with low, so I'm gonna keep it there. However, you can actually go in and customize these sections even further. To the right, you'll notice that there is a little button here that says Pro Mode. And when you actually click on that, you'll see that those little energy bars go away, and you get way more information that has to do with that section. So for example, you'll see that I get melody, backing, bass, drums, and my fills, which sort of work as like your transitions from one section to the next. And within each of these, you also are going to get multiple options. So you'll notice that underneath melody, as I click, right now it's gray, but once I click, it turns into a light blue, slightly darker, and then it goes back to gray. And so I can choose the level of the melody that I want to be within that section as long as I'm in the pro mode. So I'm actually going to crank my melody up on this, and then I can play it back and hear what that sounds like. Perfect. And this is where the fun part sort of kicks in. Is obviously, as a creator, AI is just a tool. You still have to influence that tool in order to get back something that you're looking for. And so it's at this point where I typically recommend that as a creator, you go in and you play with these AI tools. Just like any other AI tool that's out there on the market, it's not going to be able to just make anything and whatever you want and make it perfect. You are going to have to ask it and play around with it in order to get out something that sounds unique and sounds like you. And so it's at this point where I'm going to sort of play around with this a little bit more in order to find the sound that's perfect for my video. Drums on that one. Now, Sounddraw, I'm not sure how you say it. Now, Sounddraw does have a few additional features that can help you find the right music for your video. For example, up at the top, there's a little icon that allows you to add in what's called a video preview. And what this will allow you to do is to drag and drop a video file directly into your video player here. So as you are playing back your music, you can sort of see what that video would sound like with your visuals. Another nice feature that they have on the platform is if you find a sound that's like right on par, you love it, but you just want to see a couple other options that are very similar, there is another little button right over here that allows you to create similar music. But it's going to take what you've already made and use that as sort of a starting ground in order to create some new sounds using these AI tools. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this, the nice thing about Sounddraw is it's absolutely free to go onto the website and start playing around and creating music. You can go in, play around, see if you can find the right track for your use case, and 100% test it out as much as you want. And of course, I'll have it linked down below in the description. However, it is important to know that if you did want to download the music, get the license, and be able to utilize it in your video, then you will need to actually sign up for their subscription plan. As a creator, I do think it's important that we know what tools are out there and what tools exist, so that way we could utilize them as we need for our projects going forward. Of course, the more tools you know about, the more creative you can be in your shooting endeavors. And especially when I'm out out filming, working on projects, I love knowing what tools exist so that I can have them in the back of my mind as I'm making creative decisions in the moment while I'm filming. Now, of course, I want to thank Sounddraw for sponsoring this video. I also want to thank all of the members of the Creative Fam Academy who help make videos like this crazy week of videos that we've released possible. If you guys haven't already, you should definitely go and check out all the videos that we released this week. It's been a whole week of Red Komodo X videos, and honestly, I think you guys are going to love them. But thank you guys so much for checking out this video. If you have any questions, you know where to leave them, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.